It's game time. The Kid Gowie. Ravens Nation. All we know is purple and black. And if you're not a Ravens fan, Welcome to Baltimore, Maryland, M&T Bank Stadium, where opponents don't make it out alive unless we bury them. Every team be afraid of them, especially all the quarterbacks, cause our defensive linemen won't hesitate to leave you sack. Let's take a minute, go back to Super Bowl 35. Domination was an understatement up against the Giants. Numerous touchdowns, they put up numbers, and it didn't take a nutritionist to see they hunger. Only stat Kerry Collins could get was interceptions. He must have thought throwing to the D counted as receptions. The pass was legendary, but don't sleep on the present. Our secondary make quarterbacks avoid that direction. You tryna run the ball, you better hope your blockers work. You can juke, you can spin, but your destination's the turf. This is a man's game, being soft will get you hurt. Watch the defense force a fumble and the fans go berserk. 17 weeks, only one league out of 32 squads. No one's messing with our team. We all bleed black and purple, you can check our IVs. Raven Nation fly high, watch us all spread our wings. Put your game face on, embarrass the competition. You ain't talking about the greatest if the Ravens aren't mentioned. Screw every other team, cause those dudes are whack. In Baltimore, the only thing we know is purple and black. Go! They always win when the championship's on the line. So if you hoping that they failed, then you really wasting your time. Going as the 49ers, I'm pretty sure they remember when they made a comeback, but weren't declared the winners. 2 rings down, but you know they won't stop now. If the opposing D's caught slipping, you know exactly how that goes. That's another deep connection for 6 points in the end zone. The stadium goes wacko as Ravens put in work. Pittsburgh Steelers, that still curtain is looking more like a skirt. So tell me who they say is gonna beat them Bengals. Who used to be the Browns until they relocated? Ravens, they are one of the greatest. There's simply no denying it. To beat them, bringing your A game's a requirement. With the youth of the team, I bet they still be dominant, even after the greatest linebacker's retirement. 17 weeks, only one league out of 32 squads. No one's messing with our team. We all bleed black and purple, you can check our IVs. Raven Nation fly high, watch us all spread our wings. Put your game face on, embarrass the competition. You ain't talking about the greatest if the Ravens aren't mentioned. Screw every other team, cause those dudes are whack. In Baltimore, the only thing we know is purple and black. Go!
Welcome to another video, another Monday, another live stream here at SG Sports. Hey, my name is Sunny. As you guys know, every Monday, 5 p.m. Eastern time, 10 p.m. I guess UK time, 4 p.m. Central, and whatever it is over there in Nubo land. Shout out to my guy, Yo Nubo. How's everybody doing today on a Monday at 5 on the traffic time if you're getting out of work? As more things are opening, and I cannot wait when September rolls out to go back and hear that. Be amazing. Shout out to everybody that can be there when the time comes, when it opens up. That stadium is gonna be beautiful. Hopefully they can open. And I know fans are gonna be loud, and it's gonna be amazing. Again, shout out to everybody that is here. Don't see Bruno, and I see a couple more slowly coming in. Look, we gotta talk free agency, right? Tomorrow's the last day for the tag. I ain't gonna be taking callers today, and I'm gonna start making that queue for the people that wanna be on the show. You can text that number 443-292-2337. 443-292-2337. Text, I'll call you back. Who should we target? Who should we not target? I'm going to go here through the list of free agency. I know you're going to talk about wide receiver. I'll talk about wide receiver and lineman. Essentially, that's what most people want to talk about, but I have a counter argument to that. Okay? 2 p.m. in Western Canada. Probably same as Nubo. Let me see. 5, 4. I think Nubo is 3 hours. Yeah. You're right. Hank 247. Shout out to you, man, from Canada. Thank you for your live stream. Okay, so you guys know how I said, and I'm probably one of the very few that said the EDC is a little overrated. Not saying that he's bad, just a tiny overrated. So this is currently the most critical offseason of EDC and everything going forward for this Ravens team. And you gotta say, Sonny, don't be overly dramatic. This year? Well, yes. Unless he just has a quasi okay year and then an amazing following year, he can make up for it. Shout out to Garnett, man. Quick recovery, man. I know what that is. Sucks. It sucks to have an ACL surgery. I had to on the same knee because he couldn't recover properly. Shout out to you. No, Andrew, Sakara. No, that's why I stream at this time of day. I'm currently in the United Kingdom, in Europe. So that's why I stream at this time. That's why the AFC North Talk also streams a little bit earlier than most, shows. Anyway, so going back, EDC, this is a critical off season for him. I feel like EDC has been. I told you guys that I think the Peterson trade was amazing. I think the Yannick Ngakoue trade was okay, and I think the trade for Campbell, which was calling it for like a year before, was amazing. But the money that he gave to Campbell was a little high with everything that was coming. He has been in the grace of a great 2018 draft when Lamar Jackson was drafted, Zeus was drafted, Andrews was drafted, right? So a lot of starters. I think Bosa was drafted that year too. So a lot of starters were drafted in that year and a couple of years before that. And if you think about since EDC has taken the rails, we cannot get calls, guys. Hold on. Sorry for this. I need to shut this down. Hold on. Yeah. There you go. Okay. Please do not call. Just text and I'll call you back. Because if you call, this is what happens. I already have somebody that wants to be in the show, and that's fine. I have them there. If you want to be in the show, yes, it is. I said before, I had no producer. I had nothing. I am my own person here. I had no way to put you on hold. But I do. I know you guys like to call to the show, so that's the reason why I say text, and then I'll call you as we go. Okay, so as I was saying, EDC has been, driving this great draft that Aussie built, and think about the draft that he has gone. Hollywood Brown, it is a starter for us, so that has been that was a good pick. First round pick should be a starter, and Patrick Queen also has been a starter. Other than those two, J.K. Dobbins should be a starter coming forward. Not really much after that, right? So it's important for him not only at draft but in the offseason. Now we're gonna go through some receivers here, but the reality with the receivers are, hold on. I want to see. The reality is saying that I know people want a receiver, right? Everybody wants a receiver. I know people want, O-line and all this, but this cap number is a zero-sum game. So you have a number that you cannot go over, and it's a reason why. So saying that receiver, in my opinion, is out of the question for this offseason. And when I say receiver, it's not we cannot sign anybody. But if you haven't, go watch the AFC North Talk. Great show on Monday. We were talking free agency Bengals and Browns. Tomorrow we're going to talk Ravens and Steelers. And I said to my guy, Ace Boogie from the Bengals, I said, the problem that the Bengals have is they were talking about bringing a guy like Joe Thuney. And so I said, okay, Joe Thuney, what is the current market? 15. Well, you as a Bengals fan, as a Bengals team, has to pay 18. Because the reality is a way to attract that guy to your team is not like, oh, we're building something here, we're going to win in the future. That guy might not ever see that. 3 million extra? Okay, I'll go there. So that's the same reality for the Ravens. Look, Allen Robinson, right? A guy that I think will be amazing for the Ravens. Amazing. But if the Ravens offer him, right? Let's say the Ravens for some reason offer him 18 mil. And I don't know, San Francisco, right? Offers him 18 mil. Where do you think he's gonna go? Even the Jaguars. Let's say he wants to go back with Lawrence. They're gonna be probably more of a throwing team. Now, if the Ravens want to sign him, they will have to offer him 2021. The Ravens in the wide receiver market are the Bengals and the rest of the market, right? If you want that guy, you have to overpay because that guy knows, but you guys don't run an offense that benefits me. I will have to block more, have to do all these other stuff. Why would I sign there? So as Ravens fan, we have to know that reality. I know every time somebody that has a pulse with attached a WR next to that name, right? If somebody that has a pulse and some wide receiver hits the free agent, you're like, should we sign him? That's the first thing. I can hear all the Twitter people, my Ravens Nation, the flock is tilting, like, should we sign him? The answer is no, for the most part, but there are some strategic ones. Now, I'm going to flip it here on defense. The Ravens on defense can attract that talent for a little bit less. Now, think about this. Let's say a guy like Von Miller does make it to free agency. In the same scenario, Bengals, Von, 15 mil. Ravens can probably say, Von, I can't give you 15. I can give you 13. You can come here. That's the reason why the Ravens' best case probably is sign defense, draft offense, especially on the receiver side. Now, O-line is different because if you're an O-line, for the most part, you love run blocking, right? You're going forward. You don't have to go back. It's just more natural, right? You're going forward instead of just holding somebody trying to impose the ball. So on an offensive line, a guy like Joe Thuney, 15 mil, Ravens offer him 13. If the 15 mil is not from a contender, well, these guys have a good O-line, good pedigree, good offense, good defense. I'm probably going to do more run blocking. I'm still going to be playing for a championship, playoff championship. Sure. Let me sign. Okay? Let me see some of the comments here. I'm talking about legging. Joker was 2018 too. Yeah, Joker, exactly. Thank you, John. Yep. And by the way, I have a video all about the 2018 draft. You can go check it out. Yeah, B. Will and Campbell cap hit is over 29 million. So yeah, highest rate. Yes, we love every Monday at 5. If we pick a starting caliber safety, do we sit Chuck or Deshaun? That's a great question. Look, the reality is the only way you can sit Chuck Clark is if you take the mic. I'm hoping they were training PQ for that, right? Patrick Queen. Deshaun Elliott, then there will be the de facto out. I think Deshaun Elliott will be a better version of Chuck Clark if he becomes a strong safety. Because what I think of Deshaun Elliott is like a B+ strong safety and a C free safety, right? So when he's playing free, he has his moments. So when you make him a strong, I think his game will be elevated. In the case of Chuck, I think Chuck is peak, right? You've seen the best of Chuck already. And he's good. I'm not saying that. But as you're trying to trim fat and you're trying to trim some of the money, I think this is the year, sadly, to let CoCap go. and maybe you can put Clark in that position, and then you can say, Sean, you're gonna be the strong safety. That's only if you bring a free safety. Shout out to Ravens 26B more. FKC, what did they drop? The cap. Um, because the fans didn't come. They were not allowed, right, to stadiums, so lost revenue. So right now, 185. I'm waiting, right? You will hope that they throw the cap number before tomorrow, at 4:30 when the tags are in. So I don't know why they're waiting so much. I'm assuming they're quasi negotiating with the players union. Thank you. Yes, please hit a like. Also, guys, if you haven't, and the AFC North Talk, we are partnering with Manscaped. Great product. Great product. I've been using it, so it's an amazing product. I check it out. Promo code AFC North Talk for 20% off. Manscaped.com. Okay, Duvernay will be that guy at receiver. Look, you know I'm high on Duvernay. Duvernay should be the slot guy next year, and I think he'll be fine in the slot. I like those Miami edge rushers. That big guy, 6'7", but his stats not great. Yeah, I haven't Don C. I haven't scouted him. I can only tell you what I see in highlights, but I haven't watched all 22 videos or none of that. I think Duvernay should be our slot guy. There you go, a slot guy, and we should pick up an outside guy. Dude will be a beast. Baltimore boy. Shout out to you, man. Nick Celano. You're the first dude I personally hear pound the drum to draft Bateman. I have recently heard a lot of others jump his wagon. Free agency, center, edge, tight end, draft wide receiver, O-line, edge, safety. Yeah, man. Shout out to you, man. So the reality is, Bateman's amazing. If you get Bateman, you should be excited, right? And that doesn't mean, oh, no. I mean, in the case of Boykins still will have a role. I have said that I will contemplate kicking him in the tight end role. But Bateman is that type of dude that we need. He is that type of receiver. We're gonna be taking calls soon, okay? I'm just gonna run very quickly through some free agency. The receiver scenario is a lot critical than what people think of it, but it's all about It's all about how you view it, to be honest. A lot of special team guys that are only special teams will probably be on the chopping block. Wait till I call. Okay, yeah, I have you, bro. I have you here. Yannick will be back. Love Bateman's Hitman. And that's all I'm in for. Okay, so I should share this screen with you guys. Hold on. Let me share this so you can see what I'm seeing. There it is. Thank you for the ad. Zoom. It's like everybody's using Zoom nowadays. Okay. So here you go. This is a wide receiver, right? To be honest, if you think about guys like Tyrell Williams, Tim Patrick, whatever, these two, I don't think we have any use for. AJ Green is a guy that I do like for the Ravens. He should be cheaper. This thing 6. I'm thinking between 8 and 10 is going to be his salary. Tall guy, great red zone presence. I think he should be great in this offense. Allen Robinson, guys, that's the dream. Ain't happening. And if it happens, it's going to cost you something, meaning it will cost you losing another player. T.Y. Hilton, no. Larry Fitzgerald, no. Deshaun Jackson. Look, I've been comparing Hollywood Brown to Jackson since before he was drafted. Hollywood Brown's a younger Deshaun Jackson. That's the reality. I'm a pass on Watkins. I'm a pass on Humphrey. I can be entertained with Marvin Jones. Sharp Perriman, yeah, he ain't coming to Baltimore. Corey Davis is the other guy that everybody talks about. Corey Davis, he's about 10 mil. And I don't know, guys. I don't love Corey Davis, his play. I don't know if he's the type of receiver we need. He's tall, and you can say, oh, but he's tall. Yeah, but look, Steve Smith Sr. was not tall, but he was a bulldog. He will get that ball. That's what I need. I don't know Corey Davis, that guy. I think Corey Davis is a good number 2. Will he be an upgrade? Sure. Would I love him? I don't know. To be honest, I'm not in love with none of these. Cy Jones, none of these. This is the other one that everybody talks about. 16 for Juju. I don't think I'm a big pass on 16 on Juju. He's young. I think he's a good number 2. He's a slot guy. I would like to see Duvernay in the slot as a quicker. And Duvernay is not as big as Juju, but yeah, I'm not a big on Juju. There you go for Ravens Rasta. What's up, Sonny? We in here. Like and subscribe, and let's go. Shout out to you, man. Thank you for joining the live stream. No Titans, please. like it. Let me see. I like Curtis Samuel, but not for this offense. This is what you hope Duvernay can become, a Curtis Samuel. Sudden Death, what up, brother? Shout out to you, man. Thank you for joining the live stream. Chris Godwin, look, and Galladay, these two ain't coming to Baltimore. A lot of money, they're not coming to Baltimore. Not only because of the money. Again, 17 for for Kenny Galladay. It will be 20 for Baltimore. That's the reality. It is what it is. So none of those are whole hard pass. And so you are, and I know the Ravens came out with something like that, but you have to think about that. Now, a little bit more realistic, some tight ends that you might be able to sign. Hunter Henry is going to command too much money. I don't think he's worth it. If it is around 8, maybe, I don't think he will be in Baltimore. Here's a veteran guy that you could see in Baltimore. Cook, Rudolph, those are veteran guys. Tyler Eifler, maybe, too much injury. Tyler Kroft wasn't bad, another pretty decent signing. And I know everybody's talking about Zach Ertz, but now they're saying there's multiple teams on that. I'm not sure if I'm going to go with a multiple teams. Betting war with draft picks. We need those draft picks. Look, these are the 2, right? You have Sheriff or Sheriff or whatever. 15 mil to 12 mil. 12 mil ain't bad. He has injury history. That's the problem with him. But he won't be. I think Washington probably will retain him. Joey Tooney. That's another one. Incognito's old as F, but he's still decent. Look, here is where we can tap in, but also the reality is how many guards do we have currently on roster? We do have a lot. I think we might have that guy in the roster. Right? Powers play decent. I have problems with Boseman, but I think it's more likely for us to hit a center because I don't think that the organization has faith in Pat McCarry, and I lost it too. And although I like TCC, they might still want to bring some competition. Alex Mack is a guy that we keep hearing. Older guy, 9 mil seems like a steep for him. But sure, why not? I mean, if they can pay it for a year, if they think TC can be that guy the following year, not bad. But these are some of the problems, right? So what do I think they should do? Look, center if they can. Guard, I think I might be okay with the guard situation. Tackle, right tackle. If we're trading Orlando Brown Jr., we need to figure out the right tackle position. Even if it is a Rick Wagner 1-year deal, boom, you go draft. Tyreek Phillips, guys, look, last year I was not happy with Tyreek. On the guard side, on the right guard position, he was atrocious. Yes, he was atrocious. On the right tackle position, he was not great either. He was so bad that the Ravens are doing something that I hadn't seen done in a while. Actually, I cannot tell you last time I saw that in the pro football. Rotating right tackle, right? Couple plays here for you, Fluker. A couple plays here for you, Tyreek Phillips. I didn't like that. I have Terry Phillips as my backup tackle. So, what we should do in free agency, we should attack defense. If you can find some good edge rushers that are willing to come here for a good price, those are the players you sign. O-lineman in the case of center. In the case of wide receiver, I think you should go draft one. I know we say that every year. Scotty Pistol, sorry. My Hispanic brain working for you. Shout out to you. Thank you for your live stream. It's a funny story. The other day I was coding something, and I was trying to talk to another buddy of mine, and I was trying to say, hey, I have no pseudo access, and I wrote everything in Spanish, and then I sent to him. It's like, oh my god, sorry, because he didn't understand what I was saying. My brain worked in Spanish. I apologize for that. Okay, let's stop this here. Let's start with some of the phone calls. Okay. Oh my god. Sorry. Let me start calling here. Hello?
Yo, what's up? Can you hear me?
Yes, who's this?
It's Izana.
Hey, how you doing?
I'm not in the chat at the moment.
Yeah,
I'm doing great. How are you been?
I'm good, bro. I'm good. Yeah, don't worry, man. Don't worry.
I'm happy it worked. Did the issue from last week get fixed, right? I'm assuming live can hear me?
It should be. Thank you for reminding me. By the way, guys, can you hear him? Can you hear what they
God, there's a delay.
Yeah, there's a 20-second delay. I'm gonna take a question here. Okay. We hear. Just give me a thumbs up if you can hear my guy here. Andrew says, thank you at SCG Sports for saying Terry Phillips being atrocious. Too many Ravens fans have talked about him starting a right guard, right tackle, and I'm like, no way. He needs to be developed still, and it's too raw. And he might be ready next year. I'm just saying, from what we saw, he was bad. Yes, they can hear you. Yeah, I fixed this shit. Okay, demonetized there. That's okay. Okay, how you doing, man?
Wait, by the way, about Tyree Phillips, the guy that Engraven had on his channel, he brought this up. This isn't what I wanted to talk about, but he brought up how Tyree Phillips was battling injury, then he had to switch from like right guard to right tackle. And for a rookie, and especially during a COVID season, I'm not giving up hope on him. I think he projects really well as a guard. I didn't like him as a tackle. I'm happy we put him at guard, but I still have hope in him. But I just wanted to get that in.
Izana, right? That's how you pronounce your name?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you got it.
As a guard, he was worse than as a tackle.
Yeah,
as a guard,
Chris Jones ate him up.
Chris Jones was the least of the problems. They won. I forgot who we played week 1. It was the Browns. Yeah, they were eating him up. As a tackle, he was quasi decent. As a tackle, I can see the argument for developing him more and maybe be a starting right tackle in the near future. But as a guard, I was shocked. I was like, he had a door that says, come through.
Yeah, I remember. It was the Browns game was bad, especially the Texans game. J.J. Watt was eating up Orlando Brown Jr. and Tyree Phillips a bit there. And in the Chiefs game, Chris Jones ate him up too. But what I wanted to get to is we were talking about free agency, and the Ravens are linked to Corey Davis. And honestly, if this were to happen, I would fall over dead. I like Corey Davis as a wide receiver, but I'm assuming he wants around 13 mil, anywhere from 30 to 15 mil. And I think that's an extreme overpay, especially when there's a guy like Bateman in the draft. And Bateman and him, I think Bateman, his floor is a Corey Davis. I have his pro comp as like a Keenan Allen, but they're both extremely similar. They profile very extremely similar. They both profile as the same type of receiver, as in a possession guy. I like Rashad Bateman's hands over him, but at the wide receiver market, I don't think that we should be invested in too much into it, especially this free agency, since we only have about 18 mil. I think we're much better off targeting wide receiver and edge in the draft, and then fixing up the offensive line, since this is a good offensive. This is a good free agency to need offensive line. Thoughts?
No, I agree with you. Let me say something about Bateman. Bateman will be better than Corey Davis, no doubt.
Yeah, I think his floor is Corey Davis.
Think about this. Corey Davis was. I need to pull Corey Davis stats.
The flaws that he came into the NFL with, he still has them right now. That's my issue with Corey Davis.
Corey Davis, I'm not saying he's trash, guys. It's the same thing that I say with EDC. I'm not saying he's trash. I'm saying he's overrated. Corey Davis, I love his size, by the way. And that's why I tell people, I know he has, it's like Boykins. He has all the right size and all that, but let's think about this. Corey Davis' best years are, this year was good, right? Almost 1,000 yards in 14 games. He started in 12 games. But we don't have what he had over there. AJ Brown. He is a good number 2. And I think he is going to get paid as a number 1. When we talk about Bateman, I think Bateman can be a number 1, right? I don't think Corey Davis can be a number 1. I think Corey Davis can be a good number 2, a solid number 2. Same thing with Juju Smith-Schuster. Juju Smith-Schuster is a good, solid number 2. You make it a number 1, he's going to suffer. He is going to suffer.
My thing with Corey Davis is when the rumors first came out that Ravens were interested in him, it was like around 11 o'clock. I spent a good 2 hours, just an hour, 30 minutes, just watching film on him on Game Pass. And honestly, when it was like 3rd and long, he kind of disappeared in my opinion. And my thing with the Ravens is Lamar, if we were to go out for a wide receiver, I want a guy that Lamar on like 3rd and long, he could be like, okay, if all else goes wrong, that guy will be open. I could give him a chance. And Corey Davis doesn't do that for me. If we're going to pay a wide receiver, if we're going to pay Corey Davis, might as well add like $4 million onto it. Go after Allen Robinson or Chris Godwin, someone like that, in my opinion.
I agree with you. I can't. It's the thing. You have to, when you're a free agency, everything is more expensive, and you have to make sure you don't get caught up in the game of overpaying for somebody, and now you're stuck. Especially when you have Lamar coming up, right? And you have to pay Lamar. So you have to, again, this is why I keep saying this is a critical point in ADC's career as a general manager. Free agency and the draft are key to see how he attacks them, because it's key going forward. How is he gonna go forward with this team? If he goes and overpays for players that don't gonna be producing, and he bumps this draft, in 2 years you're gonna be seeing the Ravens being the 3rd in this division. You're gonna see them being because the division is moving upwards, right? The Steelers are gonna be good for 1 more year. If they don't figure out the quarterback, they're gonna be 4th. But the Bengals are on the come up. The Bengals are trading up, and the Browns are here. They're here, right? So when I said if he doesn't figure out we're gonna be 3rd in the division, we're gonna be 3rd, we ain't gonna make the playoffs. So it's important for him to know who he's targeting, and he has to hit. And if he's gonna pay somebody, that player has to produce. It has to produce. Cannot be coming to Baltimore and not produce. And in the draft, obviously, he needs to hit the player. And I need to see Orlando Brown be trading now, right? So we can get that 1st round pick and see who we're gonna draft in there.
I think Orlando Brown Jr. this is a great opportunity. Honestly, I think we're, as much as I like OBJ, I think we're better off trading him and then turning him into 3-4 day 2 picks. That way we could patch up these holes with cheaper start. For example, Ravens are great at drafting. If we could keep getting players that are on like the cap that could come in and produce on the caliber of like a Justin Madubuike or a Devin Duvernay. I know he didn't play much, but that's because Willie Snead is here. But if we could trade OBJ, get like 3 more players like that, and then use our 1st and 2nd round pick we have this year, we could get 4-5 players that would come in this year and produce, patch up edge, patch up wide receiver, patch up the offensive line, and we still have about $18 million free agency. I think that's a move.
Okay. Yeah, and I agree. I think about defense are probably going to be cheaper to attract, to bring, right? Productive defensive player. You might be able to get a guy like Von Miller to come here. You might be able to have Wolf bring in. Then if you draft a couple outside linebackers behind Von Miller that they can learn, right? In that O-line, if you're gonna spend a little bit more, on a proven lineman, that's fine by me. Especially in a center position, that's fine by me. And if we need a stopgap, let's say Tyre Phillips, guys. Let's talk about Tyre Phillips. Tyre Phillips, again, I thought he was atrocious cigar. I thought he was better as a right tackle. Let's say we want to keep as a right tackle. Well, you can bring a guy like Rick Wagner, right, and say, here, Tyreek Phillips, I'm not gonna pressure you to start, develop. And when you're ready, Wagner out, Tyreek Phillips in. If it takes a year, it takes a year. If it takes 4 games, 6 games, whatever it is, and you have your right tackle. That's how I think they should approach that. Anything else, bro?
No, that's really about it. Oh, one more thing about the passing game. Ravens are guaranteed to have like a top 5 rushing attack. With the passing attack, our wide receiving core is talented. It's extremely talented. I mean, not extremely talented, but has enough talent to be average. And I really don't think we need to go after these big name guys. For example, the Texans, they were like number 1 in passing yards. Their wide receiving core isn't that much better than ours. So getting this Allen Robinson, if we want our passing game to get much better, I don't think we need to get an Allen Robinson, Chris Godwin. That's why you brought in T. Martin and Keith Williams. Yep. So yeah, last thing there. Thanks for having me on, by the way.
No problem, bro. Anytime. Thank you for calling.
Can't wait for AFC North Dog.
Hey, you know it, tomorrow.
Yep.
And guys, don't forget 5:45 Eastern tomorrow. Also, shout out to Team Keep It Clean in the house, on email, and a couple others making their way into this live stream. Let's call the next person. Oh, why are you not calling? There you go. There you go. Hello.
Hello.
How you doing?
I'm doing fine.
So, what do you want to talk about, man?
About this free agency, I think it's going to be crazy. And I think the Ravens don't really necessarily have to spend that much. Like, there are going to be some quality players that are getting cut.
Yeah, think about this. With the cap, the problem is, well, I don't understand why the NFL has to bring the cap, like the official cap number. All they brought is like at least 185. They should just say, like, if it is 186, 187, whatever it is. There's a lot of teams over there trying to stay under the cap, right? I mean, New Orleans, the Eagles, I think Atlanta. I mean, there's at least 5 or 6 teams they're trying to stay under the cap. That is. Those are players that we can target when they get cut.
Yep. One of those names, like, is actually a pro. Also, depending what happens if we don't keep Judon or Nagat, well, Judon's gone. If we don't keep Nagatway, we gotta fix on that pass rush because, well, you can't just keep blitzing and then you have no pass rush.
Yeah, I mean, if we figure out the pass rush with the secondary, then we're gonna be a hell of a defense. Our defense has suffered a little bit because of not having the ability to pass rush. I mean, it's just hard to have every single component, right?
Yes. There's also a player that could get cut by Preston Smith if the Packers can't find anyone to trade. Maybe he'll be a cheap option. There's Kerrigan.
Kerrigan is a guy that I would love. Think about this. Kerrigan has lived in Washington since he's been drafted. Kerrigan is a good veteran. He might not even have to move if he comes to the Ravens, right? So Kerrigan is actually a guy that I keep forgetting to bring up, but Kerrigan is one of my favorites for the Ravens to sign.
I do agree. I think he will be signed probably for a cheap deal, depending what happens. Now, when it comes to the wide receiver position, I hate to say this, but I wouldn't want to go after Allen Robinson because as much as I want him, he's going to be asking, he wants like, I think $22 million. That's like almost most of our cap. We are up, like, I understand how people feel about wide receiver, but we also have other needs like offensive line. Gotta fix that pass rush and other positions, and we gotta pay our own guys down the road. Like, ugh, that's why I'm better off going after getting two B plus receivers, because there'll be a lot. They might cost a little bit much, but they're not going to be asking like 22 per year. Like, give me at least maybe let's see, maybe a Corey Davis along with a not Curtis Samuel. Maybe Corey Davis with Marvin Jones. You can put Marquise Brown in the slot. That would be some quality firepower.
Yeah, I actually think I think this offense needs one really good outside 50-50 possession receiver on the outside, with Hollywood on the other side and Duvernay. That should be a decent three. And then Hollywood needs to be more short-handed, because last year he got a little bit of a dropsies, and that position receiver obviously has to be good on hands. So if we do that, that should be good.
Then I'm looking at tight end. Like, even though we're in like conversations with Zach Ertz, I don't think we're getting him, especially with his cap hit. I'm like, oh no. The better option would be at least maybe go get Gerald Everett or Jonnu Smith from the Titans. They look to be a cheap option.
Yeah. So the reality is, day one of free agency, you're gonna overpay, and as the day goes by, that's when you might see some deals out there. So the Ravens probably won't be playing a lot in day one, but a lot of the names that people are saying, the Ravens ain't getting it. This is not the year to just go in and all out.
Yeah, not like that's the problem with people in free agency. That's the problem with fans when free agency starts. They don't know how the cap works. Like, just because you get certain players doesn't mean they'll fit your system. Like, they may do good over there, but if they don't fit your system, they're gonna be labeled free agent bust.
Yeah, and then it all depends how much guarantee money you give and all that. So those are the critical things, the important things. This is why I said ADC has to make sure he produce in this offseason, right? Between draft picks and free agency is important it's a critical offseason for the Ravens.
Yep. And maybe I'm looking at safety. There are some cheap options like LaMarcus Joyner could be a quality player for cheap. Like, I know he didn't play well, but to be fair, that Las Vegas Raiders defense isn't really that special. Maybe if he goes to a team that actually has a pass rush and knows how to use them. Also, he also played slot corner, so if Tavon Young gets hurt, we can slide him on there.
Yeah, I mean, possibilities are there. Again, I just don't wanna. You have to be careful who you bring. I'm rather, if the Ravens think they don't have the right guard, go get a guard. That's important. For Lamar, you can have our receivers with a hell of an O-line, and we should be decent.
There are some quality guards. A lot of people want Richie Incognito. I'm like, no thanks. Give me the other guy, like Gabe Jackson. I'll take him over Cognito. I don't want him. No thanks.
Yeah, Incognito's an older player. Incognito it's like a guy that, oh my God, I need a right guard. He's there. He's going to be very minimal. Let me bring him. No, but I agree with you. There should be a better option to reach Incognito. Definitely.
True. And I'm kind of all for Alex Mack joining. Maybe give him for like a 2-year deal, playing center. And then maybe we draft a center in the later round to develop.
Yeah, I mean, again, TCC played well against the Steelers, so he might be the guy. Or you might have a guy like Alex Mack, like you said, and have him there for a year, and then TCC.
True. Okay, now, what are your thoughts on what's going on with Brandon Williams' contract? You think he's going to restructure to stay, or he's going to get cut?
Look, Brandon Williams just got restructured a couple months ago. He ain't leaving. Next year, Brandon Williams is going to sit down to have a conversation, and they're going to say, hey, if you want to stay with the Ravens, here is a pay cut. This year, nope. No pay cut. He's staying as a Raven, in my opinion.
Okay, fair enough. Like,
Anything?
Also, not gonna lie, there's like question depending something like, what do you think the Ravens will get Clowney on a cheap deal? Or like, do you think the Ravens should get Clowney if there are no other options at pass rusher available and Clowney's the only one?
Clowney is a guy that might be cheap. He could be a guy that the Ravens target, right? That is a possibility. He is in our price range.
Okay. Final question. Outside of Robinson, which receiver you think fits with the Ravens the best?
Oh man, I don't love anybody in free agency, to be honest. The only guy that we can afford, right? The only guy that I would consider giving him money, because he could be a good red zone threat and could be at this point a good possession receiver, is AJ Green, because he's not gonna command a lot of money, but he will be more a rotational guy. Even if you draft Bateman, he can have some impact. AJ Green. Other than that, it's gonna be either too expensive or a guy that doesn't fit. I see a lot of people say, "Oh, Will Fuller." Will Fuller is not a receiver that I think it cannot. He's a good receiver, very injury prone, but I don't think he fits his offense.
And he can't stay healthy. Like, he only stays for at least like maybe 12, 13. The best ability is availability, and Will Fuller kind of hasn't been able to stay healthy most of his career, and he drops the ball pretty easily when it's in his hands.
Yeah, I agree. So we'll see. But yeah, right now I think a lot of these receivers are gonna get overpaid.
Yeah.
Anything else?
I'm good. Pretty sure you got other people calling you.
Yeah, I have a couple more, but thank you, bro. Thank you for always wanting to be in the show. Appreciate it.
No problem.
Take care.
You too.
Okay, I have two more callers. Make sure you mute when you pick up the phone. We have had that before. Hello.
What's up?
Who's this?
This is Bruno.
Bruno, what up, brother? How you doing?
Yeah, I'm doing good. How are you?
I'm good, man. I'm good. I'm happy that you're in the show. How you been?
I've been good. Staying safe.
It's important. Make sure you stay safe, guys. Do what you need to do. Anyway, you call. What do you want to talk about?
So obviously, some free agency because it's right around the corner. So I think the biggest emphasis, and I think EDC, to me, he made it clear in his presser that he's going to emphasize the O-line. He's going to, like he emphasized the run, the D-line last year.
Mm-hmm.
He's going to emphasize the O-line the same way, in my opinion. That's my impressions. And it makes complete sense to me because if we have a dominant O-line, it's just going to help Lamar out. He's going to have more time. It's going to help the run game. It's just going to help the offense in general. So I think it makes the most sense for us to just go that route.
Yeah, no, I definitely agree. This is something that I mentioned also in the AFC North talk. I said I talked to my guy Ace because they want Kyle Pitts over there, and I said, look, Kyle Pitts, by the way, Kyle Pitts is a phenomenal talent because I know I'm getting some flack because I said that the best tight end that I see is Pat Freiermuth, because I think
Yeah.
Kyle Pitt should be a receiver. And I think Kyle Pitt is the second best receiver in this draft, okay? But I also told my guy Ace, I said, like, yo, it doesn't matter how many receivers you have if you have no time. Look at this. The Ravens are not a team that gets produce a lot of sack. And they were eating that O-line up. So for the Ravens, it's critical. Oh, and so I was saying that to him. And I also was mentioning the AFC North tackle. Look at Baker, the progression. Great O-line, boom. He got better, right? It wasn't like he got new receivers. Austin Hooper wasn't like, oh my God, Austin Hooper was killing. No, the O-line was different. The O-line is critical for any quarterback. You put a great O-line around Lamar, you're going to elevate him. You already have your left tackle. Your right tackle wants to leave because he wants to be a left tackle. Okay. Can Tyreek Phillip be the replacement? Maybe. He needs to develop a little bit more. Like I said, he was better as a right tackle than he was as a right guard. And now Bozeman, in my opinion, should go. I'm not a big fan of Bozeman. He has good games. He has bad games. He's not consistent. Center is a big hole. I like DCC, but that was a one-game sample. He might not be great. You need to figure out the center position. And right guard, I think Ben Powers did a pretty good job coming out during the last 4 or 5 games. So I might be okay with Ben Powers, but that means you have a hole in right tackle because you're not sure if Tyreek Phillips can be the guy. You have a hole in center, and according to Sonny, you have a hole on left guard. But I think the Ravens will be starting Bozeman.
Yeah. So at center, a name that's been getting some steam in the past few weeks is Corey Linsley, and I've been watching this game, since before even the season ended. And he's just a dog. Like, he's a perfect fit for this offense and this O-line. And he was just, in my opinion, he's an elite center. So if you have an elite center, even if the guard play, I agree, Bozeman, he's average, but he's solid. He does a job. But if you have Corey Linsley, he's just going to elevate the play of the guard. So
yeah, I know. Andrew has been putting him in the over there. Yeah, look, I'm okay with that. You spend around 10 mil, let's say 10, 11 mil for him. Maybe you can give him a 3-year, 33, and guarantee 2 of those years, right? So you can spread that cap a little bit more. And that's fine. You have your center. Your center is critical. Look, I don't want no more centers getting the screws. I was fucking tired of the centers just snapping the ball all over the place. Sorry for my French. Yep. I was tired of it. You have your left tackle. You have your center. Again, I think Powers was pretty good. But if you have a really good center, that center will elevate your guard play. And then you have to figure out the right tackle position. If you trade your boy Orlando Brown Jr., and you go get a first-round pick, well, maybe you can draft a right tackle, right? Or maybe you can draft a hell of a guard,
Slater.
right? I love Slater. I think Slater's going to be a starter in an O-line position. I'm not sure he's going to be a tackle, but I wish he would be a good guard. But I think he can be a good right tackle. It's just, he has limitation with his size. I put a video of him, but I was impressed with what I saw on the tape. So, yeah, man, I think Corey Linsley will be like Ravens fans. If I tell you your free agency is Corey Linsley, you draft him, and then and the wide receiver market, we really didn't do much. We probably signed a veteran here, veteran there, whatever. You figure out to get a veteran tight end here, okay, and you were able to finagle some defensive players that are willing to come here, 1-year deal or bet minimal type of game. That is a perfect free agency for the Ravens. You get your center, your O-line is going to be right now. As soon as you get a guy like that, it's going to be better. Now, the problem is right tackle position, but if you can figure out the right tackle, you're solid and you're better off than last year's O-line.
So with the right tackle, I'm starting to question if we were going to trade him, honestly, because I just with the time going on, it's kind of getting a little fuzzy if we're even going to trade him. If the offers are there, I'm just I'm still questioning that. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm annoyed that this hasn't happened. I'm assuming nobody has set a first for him. That's my assumption.
Yeah,
And they want a first, and they should get a first. I'm surprised that we'll see what happens in free agency. Maybe in free agency, maybe after free agency, then the trade happens, right? Because right now, let me see this right tackle market.
I think it's just like Trent Williams, and then there's nothing much.
Wait, not right tackle, left tackle market. Yep. Yeah. I mean, there's some guys right there.
The guy from Buffalo, I think.
Yeah, there's definitely not much. But let's say some teams are like, let me see if I can sign this guy, and if I don't, then I can call the Ravens. Right? We'll see. Right now, if you're on a market for a tackle and you're gonna go to draft that tackle, Orlando Brown's a proven guy. A rookie, he might not be good.
Yeah.
Anything else?
Yeah, about the edge rush.
Mm-hmm.
I think just a name that they got cut today. Dunlap, Carlos Dunlap. What's your feelings on Dunlap?
So Dunlap was actually fairly good over there with Seattle, right? If you bring him to Baltimore, this is a division that he knows. I'm okay with Dunlap. Dunlap is that guy. That's the kind of guy that you bring on a cheaper deal. He can still be productive because it's not like you can splurge on a bunch of players, right? Think about this. You bring, again, this is hypothetically, Lindsey, and you bring a guy like Dunlap very close to vet minimum. And you either get Von Miller or Clowney in the outside, again, on a very team-friendly deal. That's a hell of an offseason for the Ravens, right? But yeah, Dunlap, I'm in on Dunlap. I'm okay with bringing him in.
Dunlap. All right, what about Malik Hooker on like a 1-year prove deal?
So Malik Hooker is it's a very interesting guy, right? Because he is a guy that has not hit his potential because of injuries. And the big thing with safety, guys, is there is a chance of pissing either Chuck Clark or Elliott, right? And the team loves Chuck Clark. And in the case of Elliott, I'm not sure where the team stands on Elliott. And when I say the team, I'm saying that the 53. So he seems to be like 2. I think if you bring up Malik Hooker and if he's healthy, he's a better free safety than both of them. And you can I think this is a year to get rid of CoCap, sadly, but it's the truth. And put a Chuck Clark in that role. Big thing is, or the Shane Elliott, but big thing is, can Pt.2 call the plays? If he can, then you need Chuck Clark to be the strong safety, and you can rotate Elliott as a free safety with Hooker, and also put Elliott in those dime package where Levine used to be the player. But yeah, I'm okay with Malik Hooker because he would be very, very inexpensive, and you can sell him like, hey, with the secondary, we're gonna just let you be the free safety. You get interceptions, then you can go get paid next year.
Yes. So just a couple more names on at edge rush. Hassan Reddick, I think he would be. He's gonna be
expensive.
Replacement to Jan.
Yeah, he's gonna be too expensive for us.
You think so?
Yeah, he's looking to get paid. Reddick ain't coming to Baltimore. Same thing with Barrett. From Tampa, he ain't coming to Baltimore either.
What about Marcus Golden? I think Marcus Golden would be a good fit.
Yeah, I think you have more. I think you probably strike on Clowney or Von Miller easier. Now the big thing is when free agency starts, because and then they finally put the cap number. This is something about the Ravens. This is why the Ravens probably gonna sit back and wait. But you can see team signing, and then the price will go down because if the cap number is really tight, then there's not gonna be that many teams with a lot of money. And that's either those players are going to sign with a bad team for a bunch of money or say, hey, I'm willing to take lesser for 1 year because next year the cap should go up and I can try to make my money.
Right. So with Vaughn, because you were mentioning Vaughn,
Mm-hmm.
I honestly think he's gonna get overpaid. He's gonna get even because just of his name alone. Like JJ got overpaid, and the team overpaying him.
Yep.
I think personally.
Vaughn could be overpaid. Also injuries, right? Has played into him. But the thing with Vaughn is a 3-4 outside linebacker, right? And that's what I like from Vaughn. Sometimes
Yeah,
you
he's
talk about
perfect.
pass rushers, and Vaughn is more than a pass rusher. He's a true outside linebacker.
Yeah, he would be like a better version of Judon for sure.
Yeah, I mean, at works, in my opinion, he will be like Judon because he's a little bit older now, but on a much cheaper number.
Yeah. All right. Well, I appreciate you for having me.
Oh man, anytime, bro. Don't be a stranger. Call
Yep.
call anytime. Take care, man.
You too.
Okay, guys, we're gonna go to the last caller. Hopefully, I didn't forget anybody. What happened here? Why you not calling? Last caller, and it doesn't want to call. Why? Okay, this is interesting. Hold on. You see, this is what happens when you're live. You had no producer. Obviously, I had no budget for producer. I'm not trying to say that I should have a producer. There you go. There you go.
Hello.
Hello?
Yo, can you hear me?
Yes, how you doing, man?
How you doing?
Hey. Last time we had the problems with the phone lines.
Yep, and I was about to be like, maybe I'm jinxed on the show.
No, man, I just did an update and it effed up everything in my equalizer. It wasn't even the equalizer. It was here at StreamYards. It was taking the run source. Anyway.
Yeah.
Let me know what you want to talk, Asmodeus.
I wanted to talk about the center from the Packers and a couple other things, but I mean, honestly, a lot of the callers ahead of me were on point. They touched on a lot of the things I wanted to talk about. But I guess maybe I'll lead with a question. I kind of have my idea of what to expect from free agency, but what would you consider a win coming out of free agency?
For me, and I'm very different from other YouTubers or fan base. For me, the number one priority should be fix the O-line. Fix the O-line. And I always been big on O-lines. It's not sexy, right? Nobody's gonna get overly ecstatic for a center or a guard or a tackle, but think about Baker Mayfield, how good he was from one year to the other. Every time a quarterback gets a great O-line, those quarterbacks excel. You have speedy receivers that can produce separation given time. So if the O-line gives them time, you might be able to have that separation for them to have. Other than that, I think free agency should be trying to sign, if not O-line, trying to sign defensive holes and draft receivers, tight ends, and probably edge rushers if you can fix the O-line through free agency.
Okay, I think I actually would agree with that for the most part. That and then potentially edge, but I could see that being a draft, being interested in draft as well. I know that in the earlier in the call you were talking about you're not the biggest fan of Bozeman. Just kind of curious on what points you have. So I do recall I'm recalling in a way earlier stream with Engraven where he had Sarah Ellison on. Okay. And she talked about how he was really good at swinging from one side to the other for the run. I'm kind of 50-50 on him. I think he's not terrible, but not the best. But what would be for you? What would be the main reason why you don't like him?
That is Bozeman's best trait. He's light on his feet. He's a hell of a pull guard. as soon as you ask him to just pass block, he's very inconsistent. He is very inconsistent. Sometimes he gets, in my opinion, beat too easily. Look, at the beginning of the year when we were having the problems, it was all inside rush. Skura, Bozeman, and Tyre Phillips, all three were being bad. And then you can say, wait, Skura's coming from a big injury. You have a rookie on the right guard side, but in the left guard, you have now a veteran. Why are you struggling? You should be better than this. You have Stanley on the other side. So it's not like you have a horrible on the other side. So I think Bozeman's just inconsistent. Now, he is serviceable. He's a starting guard. My question would, first of all, I wouldn't pay him. And I just think we should be able to do better. Now, with a better center, his gameplay probably would be elevated. So, I think he's okay. I just, there's something, I think it's the inconsistent that drives me crazy. Something he plays really good, right? If you think about when I streamed with New, I used to be like, man, you saw Bozeman? He had a hell of a game. And then I was like, oh, man, you saw Bozeman now? He's just playing horrible. So my thing with Bozeman is inconsistency. It drives me crazy. I need consistency. One bad game, whatever. But just an up and down, then I can't trust you, right? And I want to have trust in my O-line. So, but like I said, I don't think Bozeman will not start this year. I think Bozeman will start this year in the left guard position. Essentially, the Ravens are looking from center to right tackle, all positions, right? Who's going to be your center? Who's going to be your right guard? Who's going to be your right tackle? The answer might be they're at home, right? They're currently in the team. But right now, you cannot say who is that person. Left tackle, Stanley. Right left guard is Bozeman. The rest of the three, who knows?
So the way that I kind of see this playing out, on my ideal, I'm thinking that center from the Packers be in the have him be center. I think, I don't know what it is, but for whatever reason, Ben Powers, they don't seem to want to put him on there. But every single time I see him, he's not bad. I don't understand what the coaches have against him. But I think
who, Ben Powers?
Decent right guard.
Well, Ben Powers ended the year as a right guard, right? I think the last 5-6 games. And he played really good, in my opinion. That game against Tennessee, he was okay. And against Buffalo, he got owned. I think it was by Ed Oliver, but I can't remember. He got owned. But gained 6 or 7, right? So you're hoping so look, the answer next year might be Stanley, Bozeman, insert center, Lindsey, whoever, Powers, insert right tackle. It could be Phillips or somebody else. That could be your line, right? Again, I think Powers. I was okay with what I saw from Powers. I'll let's put it like this. I'll be okay if they say, like, you know what, right guard might be Ben Powers.
Okay. So do you think that my head is not working right now. Sorry, I'm literally working at the same time that I'm on this call. But OBJ, do you think he's going to be traded? Because I mean, I think that would have happened already, but it's not seeming that they're putting the trigger. Maybe they're not getting that first round that they wanted, but I mean, I'm surprised that hasn't happened yet. I would imagine some teams would be jumping at the bit with him being a two-time Pro Bowler on both sides of the field.
Well, he was a Pro Bowler on the right tackle. I think even this year he made the Pro Bowl as a right tackle. But still, I'm surprised that there's no action. It might be after free agency. We'll see. I think maybe the Ravens have some offers and they're waiting to see if they can get a little bit more. But I think he's going to get traded. I don't see him playing this year here.
Okay. Cool deal. And then I guess I'll go over to Edge. What are your thoughts on free agency, just that free agency, or just that in the draft? I imagine, like in my head, I think it would be kind of nice to potentially sign Clowney since it would be cheaper. He's not healthy, but when he's on the field, he's better, and then it will allow him to go ahead and rest up a little bit.
Yeah.
Have it be an incentive-based deal where he needs to play a certain amount of games in order to get a certain amount of money. And I think another incentive that really should be, or maybe even have it be a contingency upon him being signed on a 4 contract, would be he has to do the off-season workout program so that he's more prepared in the regular season to be able to play.
Yeah, I mean, Clowney, it could be a position. Let me address, it would be tied to you in here, because I love this comment here from Garnett. It says, I just want people to realize you can't fix everything in the offseason. Something will be left as is due to be part of the contingency plan. I agree with him, and the reason I bring this comment is this, and I started with this, there's a cap for a reason. And what is the position that I'm expecting to be? There's 2 positions which you guys are going to hate. They are probably not going to be addressed probably at all in the free agency season. And I think this team, when we are here talking in July and August, what are the Ravens' biggest weakness? We're going to say one position specifically, edge rush. I think they're going to put some effort in wide receiver, but it's going to be, I think, in the draft. I think on the free agency, in my opinion, they're going to go attack the O-line, and then they're going to try to see, yo, I'm in the thrift shop. Who wants to be in this team on defense? You need some, for next year, whatever. And that's how they're going to address the defense. But they're not going to overpay. They don't have the money to pay for a lot of big edge rushers. I would love Kerrigan. I would love Clowney. I would love them to keep Bowser. But the reality is, money. Now, for the Ravens, the good thing is there's the cap, and the cap might be lower, and that's a lot of teams that cannot pay or have money to, get some of these players. So you might get it in a cheaper 1-year deal. Yes, but buyer beware, because right now we talk about the receivers, how we have to overpay to bring good receivers. Edge rushers might be in the same place, because if you're looking at a guy like Yannick Ngakoue, you're like, dude had 5 sacks before going to the Ravens. He disappeared there, even though they have great corners. Maybe the scheme is not fit for sacks. I differ. I think it's more Ngakoue is not the best fit for outside linebacker, not to be 4, but still, those are things you guys see. So a position that might be left to ... I think will be outside backer.
Okay. I mean, the reason why I brought up Clowney versus all the other possible edge rushers is because I think he's going to be cheaper. He's coming off of a bad year. So, I mean, I imagine maybe I'm off base, but I think we can probably sign him for like $3 or $4 million. I don't really imagine it being anything more than that. And if he doesn't sign for $3 or $4 million, then we don't sign him.
Yeah, I think he had a decent year. I think the problem with Clowney
he was injured
is
for like half of it, isn't he?
Yeah, that's the problem. Injuries. He had a decent year when he played. Injuries, right? So yeah, I think he's gonna get around. 8 to 10. But you know what? They might be buyer beware, because in a year that all caps are strained, they're all very difficult. Clowney might be one of the guys left behind, and the Ravens might be lucky to say, "Yo, come here, vet minimal, bro."
Yeah, and I mean, so in the way that the Ravens, at least traditionally, have done the edge rusher, is that it's a edge rusher by committee, which is similar to a lot of the other positions that they do. With signing him, I would imagine also drafting somebody, whether that's his first or second round pick, and then I would like to go ahead and keep Bowser. I think Judon and Ngakwe, I don't mind them walking at all. But I think about doing it that way, it kind of limits the amount of snaps that he has to do, and maybe that allows him to play more than 5 or 6 games a season.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, our line is by committee, so he will have not as big of a. No, I mean, Ngakwe they try to use more. It all depends, but yeah, they're probably gonna ease Clowney if they sign him. But yeah, again, guys, I think that will be the position. Every team has a position they're weak. Edge will be number 1 for us, and I think at all said and done, when I'm ranking in the AFC North top positions for the Ravens, receiver will be 2, even if we sign Bateman, because reality is he's still a rookie. We don't know how the rookie will produce. But yeah, man, I think a big win this offseason fix the O-line.
I agree. But I mean, I personally, I don't even know if we're going to be able to sign any free agent wide receivers at all. Just being completely upfront, I think we pretty much have to go ahead and be on the draft, especially considering what John Harbaugh, the way that he was talking pretty much right after the end of the season, even with the issues with the offense, he was basically cocky about not wanting or not really caring about getting a top tier wide receiver. So I don't know how likely that's going to be, even with Keith Williams and T. Martin. But we'll see.
Yeah. Yeah, we'll see. Yeah, but yeah, I agree. I think they know that these wide receivers are going to get overpaid because that's what happens in free agency, and they're not willing to overpay for them.
He may pull an Aussie trick, where EDC might go ahead and pick somebody late in free agency, who ends up being a cap casualty once they figure out what the cap's going to be, and then all the teams have already paid for all the free agents, so there's less money to go around, and then maybe he'll get somebody that way. I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, we are, like I said, we are gonna for free agency. We're gonna chop over there in the thrift store with the discount value players. That's what the Ravens do.
That's all we do. It's like we're not even going to Walmart. We're gonna go to Goodwill.
Yeah. Hey, as long as Goodwill produce, ain't nothing wrong with that. Anything else, bro?
That's all, man. I'm gonna let you go.
Take care, man. Okay, and let me say this. Shout out to Eclectic Tyrone for the donation. What if they keep Brown because they think they can make a Super Bowl run? Look, the problem is Brown looks not happy for being a left tackle. For some reason, he wants to be a left tackle. I don't know. He feels lesser. I'm not sure what it is, to be honest. I have no idea. But he doesn't want to be a right tackle. Ideally, you can say, hey, OBJ, Orlando Brown, stay in the right tackle. Tyreek, learn from this so you can be the right tackle the following year. And now if you sign that center, let's say Lindsey, now O-line looking great. Orlando Brown, Stanley, and you have the center and Lindsey. And you might have Bozeman and Powers, and that O-line might be good, right? Might be good. Anyway, thank you for that question, guys. Couple of things before I go. 5:45 p.m. Eastern tomorrow. AFC North Talk. Come join. We're gonna be talking Ravens. We're gonna talk Steelers needing that stimulus check to survive the year. And also, you know how it is. The show is fun, so come in, enjoy. Manscaped.com. AFC North Talk for 20% discount. So wait to support that channel, guys. Anyway, Garnett, man, were you supposed to call? This is why I was asking. I never saw your text. So anyway, it's late, but I'll have you next time, man. Don't worry. Don't be sad. Enjoy your night. Well, for me, it's the nighttime here. It's over 11 o'clock over here. So enjoy your afternoon. I will see you next time. Well, hopefully tomorrow. Guys, take care. Stay safe.